Welcome back to Also News, the show where we go over everything important that happened during the week. Today's episode is a collab with a fellow content creator, his name is Nerdiness. Be sure to check him out, the links to all his socials will be in the description. But enough talking from me, let's get on with the news. In the previous episode, I talked about how Mrekk recently changed his profile picture to a question mark and added a certain date on his me bio on Osu. Some people were thinking that he was going to do military service, but we debunked this in the previous episode, saying that Australia doesn't have mandatory military service and Mrekk is only 16 years old. But a few days ago, a Reddit user by the name of Eastern Contest 190 solved this mystery, and let's just say that Mrekk trolled the entire community. The date on his bio signifies the 727th day as him being the rank 1 player. Mrekk later on confirmed that this was the truth when he posted "You ain't the thinker," following up with the screenshot of the Reddit post. And yeah, so pretty much Mrekk trolled the entire community. Now I'll pass it over to Nerdiness.
Hey everyone, it's Nerdiness and I'm taking over Stu's video. There was one event that took place this week that took the entire Osu community by storm. MomoTheMelon, the number 1 ranked score player, has successfully completed Osu. The concept of Osu completion is simple. All a player has to do is submit a score on every single ranked beat map in the game. But just because it sounds simple doesn't mean it's easy by any means. With the thousands of beat maps in existence and more being added every single day, Osu completion is something that only gets harder as time passes by. It takes years of dedication and thousands of hours of gameplay. To put how hard this is into perspective, there are less players who have achieved completion than there are players who have reached number 1 on the Osu global rankings. Before Momo, there were only 2 other players who have completed Osu. Zasumo on April 27th, 2019 after submitting a score on 60,845 beat maps, and Chicony on August 11th, 2021 after submitting a score on 82,298 beat maps. And finally, after endless amounts of grinding streamed to an audience of thousands of viewers, there would be a third person who would join them. On March 12th, 2023, MomoTheMelon became Osu's 3rd completionist after submitting a score on the 99,842 beat maps in existence. He didn't stop there, because immediately after, he would be the first player in Osu history to reach 100,000 clears on March 18th. This achievement was so massive, the Osu staff decided to create a new player title of Osu Completionist, which was given to both Momo and Chicony, who didn't have any player title since his completion date more than a year and a half ago. Now we can officially honor every single player who has completed the task of Osu completion. For those wondering, the next closest players to completion have their clear count in the 80,000s, so we might be seeing the next completionists make their mark in the near future. Huge congratulations to MomoTheMelon for his groundbreaking achievement, Chicony for receiving his brand new player title, and big thanks to Stu for having me here.
If you want to stay updated with the latest Osu news, then be sure to subscribe to my channel or join my Discord server, link is in the description. Okay, so this week we had a little bit of drama in the German community, so let's see what this is about. So earlier this week, the top 10 German Osu players of 2022 video has been released. The list featured very notable players like Kriller, Whitecat, Shark, Rundy, Okinamo, and many more players. But someone who wasn't featured on this list this year was Umbre. After the release of the video, Umbre tweeted, "Damn, I actually wasn't voted into top 10 German players 2022. I can do all I want, I will still stay the most disliked top player in the German community. Honestly, hope I can get a flag change when I move out of Germany." Some people were confused as to why Umbre was so hated in the German community. Now, I did reach out to someone in the German community and I asked why Umbre was so hated. And the reason apparently has been because he didn't carry in OWC 2021, and the people that hate on Umbre are mainly 6 digits. As for the rest of the German community, he's pretty much a stranger to it. He mainly talks to other people that are outside the German community. Chicony, the current number 1 Russian player, tweeted this stating that Umbre didn't really do anything exceptional that year, and that's the reason why he isn't included in the top 10. In response to everything, Umbre released a tweet longer stating a few things. Here's the tweet longer, pause if you want to read it, but in summary, Umbre says that everyone who is in the top 10 of that list deserves their spot. Then he explains his bad OWC performances and the hate that generated it towards him, stating that no matter if he played good or bad in any German tournament, he would still get hated by people. Then he explained the previous situation in OWC when he got 2nd and 3rd place in qualifiers, but still didn't make it into the team. He also states that he was trash talked by 2 people in the German OWC FC team when they were asked why he didn't make it into the team, but this has been resolved privately. And him not making it into the top 10 of this list was sort of a cherry on top for the hate that he was getting recently, and he's apologizing if he came off as entitled. Now let's move on to other important news that happened during the week. Karcher unfortunately got a hand injury, but despite his injury he can still play Osu. After 72 days the game is finally playable. Momo and Percy Granny have received their completionist titles. Chicony recently bought the Wooting, so we might see some really good scores from him pretty soon. Anyways, let's move on to the scores of the week. First off, we have a hidden DT choke from NyanPotato on Through the Fire and Flames. He got 2 misses at around 2.4k combo of the map. If this was an FC, it would have been worth 1258 PP. Zoomer is up next, and he set the very first DT FC on Inferno. He FC'd the map with 94.26 sack. This is a 9.5 star map that rewarded him with 954 PP. Rektygon this week had a pretty surprising pop-off, setting a Hard Rock FC on Wings of Justice with 99 AC. He got the number 1 spot on the map and it rewarded him with 928 PP. This is probably one of the craziest scores that happened this week, but Mrekk did indeed pass Gogo Carlito with hidden DT. This is a 12-star map and he somehow managed to pass it with 91 AC. I'm struggling to pass this map with Nomad, and yet this absolute monster passed it with hidden DT. And to end off this week, we probably have one of the craziest pass scores this year. NyanPotato passed Sidetrack Day with hidden DT, getting only 6 misses. He passed it with exactly 93 AC, and if this somehow was an FC, he would have gotten 1507 PP. Every week I blast you with a lot of Osu information, but let's see if you actually know Osu trivia. On the pop-up screen right here, you have a video where I go over 52 questions that I added in a Osu Kahoot. Be sure to watch this video and see if you know Osu trivia. Anyways, I'ma go get some sleep. Good night.